Gran Turismo is turning 25 years old this year, and for the big occasion, the folks at Polyphony Digital have pulled out all the stops to celebrate the big occasion. Hi folks, Mike Finnerty here, gaming editor and critic with entertainment.ie. Here's our review of Gran Turismo 7 for the PlayStation 5. The first Gran Turismo was released in Japan in December 1997. For some cultural context, Limp Bizkit had just released their first album, Titanic was on top of the box office, and Eric Cantona had just retired from football when the first Gran Turismo came out. The world has changed a lot in those 25 years, but Gran Turismo has moved with the times in some style. Gran Turismo 7 is easily the best game in the series since Gran Turismo 4. The kitchen sink was thrown at this game to make it a killer app for the PlayStation 5, and in between this game and Horizon Forbidden West, the PlayStation 5 now has two fantastic titles in as many weeks. Gran Turismo 7 has the unenviable virtue of being compared to Forza Horizon 5. The games have a lot in common. Both are console exclusives that focus on cars, boast cutting-edge graphics, and are among the best games you can get for next-generation consoles. You would have to flip a coin to decide which one is better, but in this instance, it comes down to the music in Forza being better than Gran Turismo. For long-term fans of the Gran Turismo games like myself, the driving controls remain as firm and solid as ever. And with the PlayStation 5 controller rumbling in your hands, it's the closest most of us will ever get to driving a car at 350 km an hour. 2017's Gran Turismo Sport was a technically sound game, but suffered from a distinct lack of focus. Gran Turismo 7 rectifies that with the inclusion of a cafe mode, which serves as a traditional campaign of sorts. Players collect and find out more about the history and culture surrounding cars, all the way from the French hatchbacks, all the way up to Lamborghinis and the like. The game is laser focused on keeping players engaged, and the addition of an in-depth photo mode is icing on the cake. The photo mode could have been a game by itself, so a feature with this much depth and substance behind it is part of the game as standard, and this speaks to how tightly designed and well-rounded Gran Turismo 7 is. The very best racing games appeal to petrol heads and non-car drivers alike, and the game walks the fine line between the two. For the petrol heads, the level of customization and details is extraordinary, while for the average gamer, you'll never do the same race twice. The game is a graphical beast, and with the right setup, the game becomes a standard bearer for graphics on consoles. Every console needs a game that can show off what the console is capable of, and Gran Turismo 7 will be our pick to fill that distinction for the PlayStation 5. The game is much more than a mere tech demo. It's a dynamic and fun game that will always keep players on their toes, but in terms of technical achievements, the game is extraordinary. The subtle rumbling of the controller when you're driving on wet surfaces is a detail that people wouldn't notice unless you explicitly told them, but the game is crammed with little features like that to make sure that the game is one of the most complete simulation experiences on the market. When we spoke to series curator Kazunori Yamauchi last month, he said he wanted to make a Gran Turismo game that appeals to all fans, and himself and the team at Polyphony Digital pull it off effortlessly. Gran Turismo 7 is the game that reminds you why you fell in love with video games to begin with, and is a must-buy for any PlayStation owner. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and head over to entertainment.ie/gaming for all the latest gaming news and reviews.